The first time Kalen saw the mark, it shimmered faintly beneath the alien princess's skin like liquid starlight. He had not meant to look. He had learned, long ago, that lingering eyes brought trouble in the courts of the Olith Empire. But the mark drew him, not with desire, but with an ache of recognition. They called her Princess Arenya of the Olith, daughter of the High Matriarch, heir to crystal spires that touched the heavens. She was tall, luminous, her veins glowing faint blue beneath ivory skin. But it was a mark etched upon her collarbone, spiraling downward toward her heart, that unsettled him. It pulsed faintly, as if alive. Kalen, a human soldier taken prisoner during the border wars, had been brought before her as a token. Some said he was to serve as a bodyguard. Others whispered he was an ornament to amuse her. He did not argue. He kept his silence, bowing when demanded, standing where ordered. Yet his eyes betrayed him. On the third night, as Arenya sat upon her crystalline throne and he stood at her side, she turned her gaze upon him. The court fell silent, waiting for her mockery. Instead, she smiled, sharp as glass, beautiful and cruel. "Human, your eyes linger too long," she murmured, her voice carrying across the hall. "Do you see beauty in the mark fate carved upon me?" The courtiers laughed, their luminous throats chiming like bells. Kalen said nothing, but in his silence a storm stirred, for he did know that mark. Not its shape, not its lines, but the resonance it carried. Long ago, his own people spoke of such signs, the sigil of bound stars, a destiny not chosen, but carved by forces older than empires. He had seen it once before, in a fragment of Terran scripture, and now it burned upon the body of an alien princess. Kalen's nights grew restless. Every time the court gathered, Serenia teased him. Does my human admire what he cannot touch? Do earthborn eyes hunger for alien secrets? Or is it fear that makes you stare so? Each jibe drew laughter, but behind her gaze lingered curiosity, for she felt it too, that his silence was not emptiness, but recognition. One evening, when the palace lay cloaked in the glow of twin moons, she summoned him privately. The halls of crystal were empty save for their footsteps. She wore no crown, no jewels, only a gown of flowing silver that revealed the mark more clearly. "You will speak tonight," she ordered, though her voice wavered. "Tell me why you stay." Kalen hesitated. Words had been a burden in the court, but here, alone, he let them fall. "Because I know it," he whispered. "That mark does not belong only to your people. On Terra, long ago, Prophet spoke of a bound sigil, a symbol tying two souls across light years, across bloodlines, a destiny shared." Her breath caught. 4 years. She had been told it was a mark of dominion, proof of her right to ascend the amethyst throne. Yet no Olith scholar could explain why it pulsed brighter when she dreamt of stars far beyond her world. "And you claim this belongs to you as well?" she asked, half amused, half afraid. Kalen shook his head. "Not to me. To us." The silence that followed was heavy. For the first time, she did not laugh at him. She turned away, her fingers tracing the glowing spiral as though it burned her. Rising conflict. War came sooner than either expected. The Umbrith clans, shadow-born marauders, descended upon Kareth. They were not like the Olith, elegant, crystalline, radiant. They were darkness clothed in flesh, wielding void fire that consumed light itself. The council convened, their voices shrill with fear. Serenia was commanded to remain hidden, her mark too valuable to risk. Kalen was ordered chained again, his usefulness deemed at an end. But Serenia hesitated. She remembered his words, 2 souls, bound across bloodlines, and in the depths of her heart, she feared that without him, her mark would lead her only to death. That night, she found him in the dungeon, sitting silent as ever. She unlocked his chains with trembling hands. "Come with me," she said. Together, they fled through crystal corridors now cracked by enemy fire. Outside, the skies bled red as void ships poured down destruction. Soldiers fell. Light dimmed. It was then that Serenia felt it, the mark blazing against her skin, pulsing in rhythm with something in Kalen. When his hand brushed haze, the glow intensified until it painted the hole in silver fire. "What is this?" she whispered. Kalen's eyes burned. "Destiny. Together, we awaken it." Climax. They reached the shattered gates where the Umbrith warlord waited, a towering figure of shifting shadow, wielding an axe of voidstone. His voice was a chorus of screams. "The Mark-bearer," he growled. "Your light is ours to consume." Serenia trembled, but Kalen stepped forward. He drew the Terran sword he had hidden for years. Its steel was plain, but as the mark flared between them, flame coiled along its edge. The warlord laughed. A human day's challenge void. But Kalen did not falter. Not alone. Serenia placed a hand over his, their fingers closing around the hilt together. The mark on her body burned, flowing into the blade, fusing human steel with alien light. The sword sang, not with fire this time, but with harmony, a resonance that shattered the warlord's laughter. With every strike, shadows dissolved. With every swing, fire and light burned brighter. The battle raged across the ruined gate. At last, as the warlord raised his axe for a killing blow, Serenia whispered the words that had once been mockery but now were truth. "Human, your eyes lingered too long, but perhaps they were meant to." Together, they drove the blade through the heart of shadow. Light exploded. The warlord shrieked and crumbled to ash. Ending. When dawn rose, the city still stood, scarred but unbroken. The council bowed to Serenia, no longer mocking her human companion. Word spread of the mark-bearer and her bonded warrior from Terra. Upon the balcony where once she had ridiculed him, Serenia stood beside Kalen. The mark still glowed, but now it pulsed gently, like a heartbeat shared between them. "You were right," she whispered. "It was never mine alone. Fate carved it for us both." Kalen smiled faintly, the silence that once made him a shadow now transformed into strength. "And together," he said, "we decide what fate becomes." The suns rose higher, casting their light upon two figures bound not by conquest or mockery, but by a mark that united worlds. And in the chronicles of Kareth, the tale was written, of the princess who mocked the human, and of the bond that burned brighter than shadow.